David Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Ashley Cole, Robbie Keane, Jorge Campos, Luis Hernandez, Landon Donovan, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The number of iconic players that stood up for the LA Galaxy is endless. However, the most recent big name in Chicharito has struggled mightily, and the Galaxy have sent him to his boyhood club Chivas. The explosive wingers on loan in Christian Pavon and Yoni Gonzalez have gone back to their clubs. These moves indicate that the rebuild is on, and youth academy products such as Jonathan Perez, Efrain Alvarez, Julian Araujo, and Cameron Dunbar will look to take advantage of the faith put into them. The club has gotten several new players to buy into the project they're putting together also. Highly touted as a youngster, Eric Palmer-Brown has bounced around on loan in Europe, but will be joining the Galaxy now and anchoring the backline. Mexican-American Jonathan Gonzalez was actually benched for Palmer-Brown with the USA U20s and later made a controversial switch to play for Mexico after strong performances for Monterrey. Things have not gone as well since his switch, as he's now out of favor with Monterrey. Once scouted by Borussia Dortmund, Gonzalez will look to regain his confidence and form as he will join the Galaxy slotting in the defensive mid-role. Argentinian-American Joel Senora started his career out with Stuttgart and featured for their second team. He played for USA youth sides with Palmer-Brown. He has showed promise with some of his recent performances in Argentina, but has not played many professional minutes. So the confidence shown in him and the promise of playing time has led him to join the Galaxy. This approach is new for the Galaxy, who were once hated for hoarding star players or designated players as they're called in MLS rules. In this career mode, we will follow the LA Galaxy as they attempt to get back to their dominant ways. What's bracking, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of my LA Galaxy career mode, and this is going to be a pretty rapid pace career mode is what I'm going to say. In this episode, we actually get through the whole first season. We're very focused on the rebuilding aspect of this career, if you guys didn't really kind of get that from the intro. So we're gonna have a lot of young players focus on kind of development plans and just general development and trying to make some of these youth academy products into great players, and of course kind of revive some of the careers for some of their players we brought in also and bring them to stardom. So Efrain Alvarez, we're going to train him to a center attacking mid. He's got really low pace. I said we might as well put him into that midfield. He's a pretty good creative player with his dribbling, passing. We'll keep on balance for now and see how he continues to grow. We may change some things here and there. So Cameron Dunbar, only 17 years old, 54 overall, and we're going to have him on the poacher. I just wanted him to be able to finish his chances, basically. He has tons of pace already. Obviously, we would like to see maybe some better passing, but considering the fact that we have some pretty good creators on the side, I think he will benefit quite a bit from just being a poacher, using his pace getting behind and having high finishing to finish the chances. So we're going to be getting rid of a lot of players. Perry Kitchen's going to be leaving the club. You'll see plenty of other exits as well. So Alvarez, we did change him to center attacking mid. Basically the same overall at the 64. I put him on balance for now, like I said before, but we could definitely change some things in the future. So with our scouting, we are going to initially be focused on North America. So USA, Mexico, Canada is what we'll be scouting at the start. And you can see we did end up selling David Bingham, so another player gone. We're going to train Jonathan Gonzalez from a center mid to a center defensive mid, as he really has good characteristics for that. He's just has some good stamina, decent pace, and just good ball winner. So might as well have him be our center defensive mid. And Giancarlo Gonzalez, the Costa Rican center back, has left as well, and we are also trying to shop Jonathan Dos Santos. So we're trying to wait for an offer for him. So pretty much all our designated players are going to be gone now. Of course, we know Chicharito, Pavon is gone, and we're trying to get rid of Jonathan Dos Santos. So 71 overall at CDM is Jonathan Gonzalez, and he looks very good, and he'll continue to improve in that area. So taking a look at some of the players, Nacho Navarrete. That is a beautiful name. So Nacho is going to be our goalkeeper. I have a couple other options like Jonathan Klinsmann, of course, Jurgen Klinsmann's son. But this man Nacho, that's just an amazing name, and we gotta get him in there and get him growing as soon as possible. So Jonathan Dos Santos will be leaving to Germany the summer transfer window. Of course, this is a different schedule with MLS. If you guys don't know, you kind of got to get used to it. So up top to start, we have Dunbar. Then on the left, we'll have Sonora. In the middle, you'll see Leggett and Alvarez. And I think it's nice to have them two just kind of, they're going to be sit there and just going to be roaming around more, being the playmakers, making late runs in behind. I think they'll really fit in that role. Then Perez will be on that right mid spot as of now, and Jonathan Gonzalez will be sitting in as the center defensive mid. Then in that back line, of course, a couple guys we didn't mention. Danilo Acosta, another guy who's trying to revive his career. He had a very promising start to it, but had some issues with club managers and clubs, and he just really needs to find a place to settle in. Daniel Steres, the captain, will be next to Palmer Brown, another guy we're trying to revive. Then, of course, Junior Araujo, very promising young player, being heavily scouted both the Mexican and American USA national teams. So we'll see how he fares. Of course, Navarrete is our goalkeeper right away and on the bench. For now, we'll have Dos Santos, but he should be leaving the club. And we'll try to shop out Joe Corona and Sua also. We'll try to get them out of the club so that way we can bring in some other players and give some other opportunities. Maybe bring another, possibly a big name transfer wouldn't happen until next season or the third season is my plans. And on the reserves, really nothing of note. But hopefully we can get some more players from the youth academy. LA Galaxy has always created some pros. You can see Nacho is showing great potential at the 62 overall, so that's very promising. I mostly wanted to show some of his potential right there because I felt like that's a pretty important fact to show that he's going to be a quality player once he's kind of hitting around that potential to possibly surpass it also with the dynamic potential in this game. So first match of the season we'll be showcasing. I think we're only going to showcase like maybe 6 to 8 matches at most in this one. I really, like I said before, I want to focus more on the kind of building, the development plans, everything else we've got going on in here, rather than like the general gameplay. Because to me, that's second at the moment. We really want to focus on what we got going here. So now playing the ball around Jonathan Gonzalez, a great turn and a sweat across to Leggett for the first goal of this season. Leggett is pretty much the veteran of the squad along with Daniel Steres. There's really not much else on this squad as far as a veteran presence goes. Leggett has played in a bit in Europe, trained with West Ham for the majority of his career, came back to MLS to play for the Galaxy, and he is going to be a big part of this team. Leggett with a great pass to Sonora, and unfortunately cannot finish his chance, the pacey Argentine-American. Now Perez is going to be back out on that wing. Going to look for Dunbar. The two academy products are connecting to make things 2-0. So first match of the season. The thing is, though, this Dynamo team is not very good. So we'll see if this is just the fact that they're not good, or we actually have this quality young squad is actually playing at a decent level, putting some things together. So you can see Christian Ramirez is absolutely tearing apart Palmer Brown, in essence, and finishing his chance there. Ramirez actually kind of got his career going, essentially, he played actually very close to where I live, and he played college soccer very close to where I live, and that's kind of where I actually knew about him because of that. Very interesting career rise he's had. But again, a huge miss from the Dynamo team, hitting off that post. Nacho had no chance at that one. But now Sonora playing the ball here to Dunbar. Sonora with a perfectly timed run. He has that pace. He pick out the pass, and he finds Leggett, who's going to grab another goal. Leggett just is wonderful with those late runs. That's really going to help us secure this victory, it looks like, in the 52nd minute. And he's another person who I feel like he's been, in real life, he's been kind of, just because he's not one of the younger options, I feel like sometimes he's not really highly regarded by a lot of US and MLS supporters, but I think he could be very useful in like CONCACAF. But again, another goal from Leggett. I think that's wrapping up his hat trick, and that is a great goal from the man to make things 4-1, easily putting the game away now, it looks like. But those late runs from the midfield will always overpower, just because the fact that the midfielders don't track back. I always talk about that. Hopefully someday we will see some midfielder track back action. Now, simming forward, you can see it was a struggle after this. Like I said, it was not going to be easy. We were in 12th, I believe, in the West, and that's pretty much like last place. But we're going to play against LAFC here, and we will get into kind of a history of this contest now. The Galaxy have always been the club of Los Angeles, even when they shared a stadium with the now defunct Chivas USA. That changed once the highly anticipated LAFC entered the league. The first match between the clubs was a classic, where Zlatan Ibrahimovic made his debut off the bench to bag a brace, scoring a world-class volley to help the club win 4-3 after being down 3-0. In the regular season, the Galaxy had the slight edge with 2 wins and 3 draws, but LAFC eliminated the Galaxy in last season's playoffs. Zlatan carried the Galaxy in these matches with 9 goals. Let's see how this Galaxy side fares without the star power it once had. So catching up to the action here, you can see some great movement inside, some great ball work, and in the end, Jonathan Perez actually caps it off with a goal in the 21st minute. So this young squad has definitely responded the way you would like them to. But again, it's the inconsistencies you see from a young squad that is killing the team so far this season. Of course, a great start to the season, but after that, it has not been anywhere the same. Obviously, with the results as a whole, considering where we're at in the table, only 8 points in 12 matches. But maybe this can be the turnaround point, and that is something this young squad needs to just work on, being more consistent. And that's exactly what we'll see somewhat here from Jonathan Perez, actually scoring a brace. Some great work, kind of overloading the midfield. Efrain Alvarez being in that perfect spot and finding his fellow youth academy product to make things 2-0. And Galaxy have really had the upper hand, it seems like, in these regular season matches. But of course, the playoff loss will always hurt. And that's something that LAFC will always have over the Galaxy at the moment, at least. But now Perez playing the ball up here to Dunbar, who's going to play it through to Jonathan Gonzalez. CDM making a late run. He's going to finish that chance to make things 3-0. So absolutely destroying LAFC away from home. And it doesn't look like it's going to be shades of that comeback, but vice versa, because, of course, the Galaxy were down 3-0, like I said before, against LAFC at home, and came back to win that match. Yep, you'll see this one ends 3-0, and now it's about responding once again now against Real Salt Lake, just not showing the same ability. Giuseppe Rossi finishes that chance. Nacho has no chance. That's in the side netting, and now it's time to buck up, get focused, and try to make something happen, grab some goals, but unfortunately a poor pass, and now 30 minute chance for a counterattack. Baird, the American winger, going to play the ball here to Krilic, and he's going to finish that chance near post to go up 2-0. That's been the whole problem so far, the lack of consistency. We'll have some good results. We cannot come back the next match and put another result together. We can't string those 2 or 3 performances or even more that you need to be a top side. So now I ball played in. Looks like a good chance here. Palmer Brown's going to make things 2-1 at the 50th minute. Can these guys respond, put it together, and try to at least grab a result with a point here? We shall see. And a very nice effort from Palmer Brown, taking advantage of that little chance off the kind of half volley there to put that in the back of the net to grab his first goal of the season. You won't be seeing him scoring too much, I think. Maybe from corners, he could be a decent threat. We'll see. But now Dunbar playing the ball here to Leggett to Perez, who's going to have a chance, it looks like, for a second. Unfortunately, he cannot get the shot off. And now a strange clearance. So 92nd minute, going to try to put the ball in the head here, Asteres. And the ball bounces around, cannot get to the second ball. That's going to be cleared out, and it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Real Salt Lake. So again, story of the season, this young squad is just lacking the consistency they need to get to that top gear and make the MLS playoffs. But now we will get into a history of the rivalry, the Cali Clásico between San Jose Earthquakes and LA Galaxy. Northern California versus Southern California is a natural rivalry in the state, and that is no different with the San Jose Earthquakes and LA Galaxy. The Cali Clásico goes back to 1996. The first season MLS existed and is considered to be one of the more genuine and most entertaining rivalries in the league. Stoppage time winners, red cards, outfield players in net, playoff comebacks, this rivalry has seen it all. For context, the Earthquakes will usually play and sell out these matches in Sanford Stadium, a 50,000 capacity stadium, which isn't their permanent home because it's such a highly anticipated match. With this young squad, taking part in this Clásico will be a great test for them. That is not the way that Galaxy management, fan, and players would like to see this match start. With the veteran Chris Wondolowski, he's played in so many of these Cali Clásicos, been a part of so many huge comebacks, will put his squad ahead 1-0 early on. But trying to respond here, taking advantage of a huge mistake is Legit, as the center back was trying to feed that ball to the center defenseman. Legit is going to be completely through, and he's going to bang that first post to put his side level here. That's a great composed finish, great reading of the game from Legit, taking advantage of the opportunity also. And that's just something that we have to do, take advantage of our chances. As you can see right here, Araujo playing the ball to Dunbar. A bit of a deflection from the Quicks player, just puts that wide. That would have been a huge goal for the Youth Academy product. As Dunbar, we don't have some space here, playing the ball to Alvarez. A big chance in front of the net. He's going to go tons of power, trying to get that to the side netting. And that was just well over the bar. No composure there in the final third, unfortunately, from Alvarez, as he had a huge chance to put himself into kind of the just history of this rivalry with another late winner, as there's been so many. If you guys ever have the chance, I definitely recommend you look up some of the videos of some of the matches and some of the finishes. They have been very entertaining, a lot of fun. I certainly recommend you check those out. But now here, the return leg actually essentially against the Earthquakes at their home. Soñora being played over the top, tons of pace. He's going to play that in, and an own goal. I think that is the same player, Youngworth, I think it was, who had that mistake against us, and that's a Bundesliga just trained player, experienced player who is making those mistakes. So that is very unfortunate on his part, but I guess the rivalry gets to him. I don't even know. But Jonathan Gonzalez with a huge win of the ball. What a tackle. That is a very good tackle. You can see from a guy who has played in very high just caliber matches against Tigres in some rivalries like this. And in the end, the youngster Perez puts this one in the back of the net to make things 2-0. So we got to try to hold on. In the end, it's tough, but hey, Legit's playing a very good ball to Soñora. Going to try to work the ball around to Dunbar, who's going to look for the pass here to Perez, who's going to tap the ball to Alvarez, who's going to put that in the back of the net. So, of course, the last match, Alvarez could have grabbed the winner. This time he grabs a kind of a just match-stealing goal to make things 3-0, and that is how the match will end. That is a much better performance as a whole. And now we look for an Afro-Mexican king, Simon Cortez, 62 overall. This man has some pace. He has some sprint speed. He can dribble. He can pass. Decent curve. He's going to be a really good center attack unit, it looks like. So we actually can't promote him to the squad yet, but he looks like another gem, of course. In the LA area, you've got a lot of Mexican kids. You got that, either this in that tough battle of whether they want to sign for end up playing for the Mexican national team or the USA national team. You can see that with some players like Alex Mendez, who is at the moment at Ajax, Ulises Yanez, another player who has had that same thing going on, that same type of predicament, not knowing where to go. That it can definitely be tough for some of those young players who grew up in these Mexican communities, and that's the story of Simon Cortez. But looking at some options here, we do have to bring in a player of European descent. We need to sign 2 Europeans to meet our objectives, and we're going to sign this man right here, Abdul Conte. He is a 22-year-old left back who has pace. He has strength. He's pretty physical. He's not as pacey for the left back spot. So I think we're going to train him into a center back, and we are going to make him into a beast there. I mean, him next to Palmer Brown in the future will be a wonderful center back option. Of course, he can still cover that left back spot also. So you can see we're making that change now, going to that position. We're going to train him to the center back. He's probably the same rating, 69 overall, as a left back at the moment. He's got decent potential, and I think he will be a lovely fit. He's going to be another one of our designated players, per se, that we brought in. So yeah, he's a very quality player, and he just help us kind of reach our goal that we have to possess, essentially. 69 overall, like I said before, as a center back. And I did sign like another random European free agent, essentially, to reach our goal of having European players, basically. That's for brand exposure, apparently. So 9th place. This is really our last shot at playoffs. We're in the final stretch, 28 matches played. There's only about 6 more, I believe it is. So we have to pretty much win every game from now on and hopefully get some results to go our way. But now LAFC, the return leg, essentially. Now Dunbar being played through. A chance here. Near post is going to finish that one to make things 1-0 in the 33rd minute. So Dunbar, the lovely player, putting his squad ahead in the 33rd, and we'll see if we can continue on and really possibly just push for and make a late push for playoffs. It's easier in MLS because so many teams make playoffs. It's like 7 out of like 13, 14 teams in a conference. That's kind of easy. It's almost like the regular season is like a group stage for who gets in the playoffs or something like that. But now Legit here with some space on the wing for Sonora, who's going to try to play the ball across to Dunbar. Unfortunately, cannot get the ball off his feet, and that was the chance to go ahead. Another chance here for some Sonora, and that was a huge block from the LAFC defender in that 61st minute as we're trying to go ahead. It could be 2 or 3-0 at the moment, and LAFC is going to make this young squad play with a great ball to Kay, Mark Anthony Kay, who's played in almost all these rivalry matches, it seems like, and he is going to make things interesting here, leveling things 1-1. So maybe a chance to respond. We'll see. Nothing comes out of that kickoff, but in the end, it's always gonna be a tough one. A great tackle from Palmer Brown, it looked like, but in the end, that is going to be called a penalty. I thought he won the ball initially, but I guess that was all man. I don't know. That's a very close call. It's a very close call. And try to get that save Nacho. Unfortunately, there's no chance for the young Mexican goalkeeper to get to that one, as Carlos Vela will have his side go up 2-1. And in the end, LAFC will effectively end our playoff hopes. And that is a tough way, obviously, to really have your season come to an end as it goes to actually like having a meaningful end to it. You can see some of the LAFC players consoling the LA Galaxy players. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but obviously a lot of these youngsters could probably use that. Just obviously a big change for this team, going from having so many star players in last season's Zlatan, Chicharito, they decided to part ways with him. He's still in Christian Pavon, Yoni, Gonzalez, and it's been a tough season, but I think we have some promise. We got this young player, Gabriel Pau, who is a American right mid slash left wing slash cam. He's got a bit of pace. 3-star. We could work on that and see some other players being sold. Ethan Zubak, really had no plans to use him in all honesty. And this is how the season ended. It just was unfortunate because I think there's a point where it looked like we were close to having the turnaround, but in the end, we ended up 14 points away. That's why I said we had to win out, get some results to go our way. Unfortunately, we did lose that match, and actually mathematically I was correct. We would have had to win out. So 10th place is where we ended at. Weren't the worst team ever, team in the league. You can see that was actually Salt Lake Dynamo Earthquakes were far inferior to us at the least, but it was a quality season as for some players. Of course, Sebastian Leggett actually did pretty well as he ended up with a fair amount of goals. You can see it was at 13 goals for him. Really nobody else was on the goal list for us, but the veteran presence playing in that midfield, also almost playing like a second striker at times, had the most goals. Dunbar with 7, Jonathan Perez with 4, 3 for Alvarez, 2 for Sonora and Gonzalez, Powell with 1, and Sua Esteres and Palmer Brown with 1 as well. So in essence, we scored very little. We did not score much whatsoever, and reality was at 27. That's like 1.05 goals a game. Did not score too much in a lot of these matches. A lot of the games you did see, we scored a lot more because I was playing them, but assist, Legit led in both goals and assists. He was really carrying the team this whole time, and I think there's still some things to really be excited about. A starting prospect is Nacho, 64 overall. He should have showing great potential. Canadian goalkeeper to back him up at the moment also. And so a lot of players did improve. So a few guys didn't really improve as much as I would liked. But Daniel Costa did end up in a 67, and we're going to end up transferring some players here and there. It's actually in essence, is the first episode of the next season. Palmer Brown to get to 70, as it was Conte up to 70. Esteres staying at the 67. Araujo showing great potential, getting up to 69 overall, which is a good growth. A lot of the things I'm excited about is actually the potential changes. So Gonzalez got up to a 72. Jonathan Gonzalez looking pretty good. This is the other guy we signed who was European to meet our our brand exposure board objective. And Efrain Alvarez got up to 66 from a 64, so just a +2, but he's showing great potential, so that's good. He's showing great potential. Nice to see that. Legit at the 70 overall. Gabriel Powell up to 59. Jonathan Perez only got up like 2 points to 56, but Cameron Dunbar got up to showing great potential after only being 75 potential from that 60 overall. So that's very promising. I'm really excited for season 2, guys. That should be coming out in about a week or so. Thank you all for the support. The love and support you guys have shown has meant so much to me, and I really hope you guys continue to do so, because it really just makes me feel good to see all the comments, and hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of this series. Thank you all. Hit that like button. I love you. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.